Part 2, Fulfilling Your Purpose. Welcome to the transformative exploration of fulfilling your life's purpose in the realm of spiritual connection. In this segment, we dive into the profound alignment of your purpose with the journey of self-mastery. Fulfilling your purpose. Fulfilling our purpose involves living in alignment with our deepest values, passion, and strengths, and making a meaningful contribution to the world. It encompasses recognizing and embracing our unique calling or mission, and actively pursuing it with dedication and authenticity. Now, what would be key aspects of fulfilling our purpose? The first thing we want to do, of course, is alignment. Living in alignment with our core values, passion, and strength, while ensuring that our actions and decisions reflect our true essence. So we did speak about this regarding alignment and our purpose prior, but here I just wanted to highlight in terms of how it serves your self-mastery. So when it comes to self-mastery and regulating ourselves in the position to be dedicated and disciplined in the practices to self-mastery, we have to learn how to always maintain the intention of alignment. Because if we don't maintain that intention of alignment, it's very easy to detour and distract ourselves away from that purpose. We always want to make sure that we are maintaining those values and passions and strengths in the pursuit to that purpose, while maintaining the structure that's going to cultivate that intention, meaning making our everyday choices aligned with that intention, making sure to keep the right mindset and the right attitude, the right energy throughout the day, the right behavior. All of these things cultivate the right alignment for that intention. So our responsibility here is to master our ability into that alignment to maintain the momentum of our moving forward. Another key aspect of fulfilling our purpose would be to have meaningful contribution, making a positive impact in the lives of others and the world at large, using our unique talents and abilities to contribute to something greater than ourselves, right? Because the goal here is to not only master ourselves, but creating a underlying intention of always looking for how we can contribute in a meaningful way. How can we bring value into a scenario, a place, a home, a relationship, a project? Because here we will quickly realize that when we pursue to contribute, we start to feel more fulfilled with ourselves. We start to quickly realize our value in a way that cannot be given externally from another source, but that comes from within. Because we are expressing an element, an aspect, an essence of ourselves that can only come from ourselves, because it is the expression of our talents and our abilities and our unique, authentic expression. And to be able to not only be who we truly are, find what is our purpose, what makes us happy, what makes us feel fulfilled, but to use those elements of ourselves to contribute to society on a grand scheme of things is the most rewarding thing possible. Because here you are using what comes without a price. Money cannot buy this. Nobody outside of you can give you this. This is your divine essence, your divine purpose, the power invested within you by the divine source of all that is. So when we get comfortable with creating that meaningful expression or contribution of self, we start to realize the true meaning of life. And it becomes so beautiful. We become so grateful to finally reach that moment in time where we have pivoted and transcended the limitations of our own burden, suffering, pain, and agony that we ourselves created upon ourselves by being so attached to the things of this world, right? And when we learn to use the things as things and not allow the things of this world to use us and our energy to constantly be on the wheel to pursue more and more and more because we're doing it backwards, there is where we find the true fulfillment and satisfaction of life. Because now we're reversing it. We are first dedicating ourselves to finding ourselves before we decide that our career, our jobs, our family, our culture, our houses, our cars, our money is what makes us. Before we decide that that is who we are and that's what makes us, no, we're making a conscious and aligned choice to find what makes us us first. So that when we find what makes us first, then we align ourselves with the things and the places and the people and the objects and the careers and the homes and the environments that are going to enhance that which we are. Not deplete of it, but enhance that. So if what brings you happiness looks nothing like what society tells you that you should pursue, when you learn who you are and you are okay with that, and you learn to love that, and you learn to honor that, and you learn to have boundaries and standards for what that is that you have discovered within yourself, then you don't care what anything outside of you says, because you are fulfilled and satisfied with who you are as a person. Therefore, you are pursuing to expand that which truly makes you happy. So if that's to be living in a farm around horses, where you could be close to the beach, so you can have leisure whenever you feel like it, while living in okay in terms of monetary gains, if that's what defines who you truly are on a soul level, then that's where you need to be. Okay, because here we're not being, at this state of consciousness, we're not being influenced by the external world. We are finding who we are first, so that in finding who we are, we decide how we influence those who we guide, so that they can do the same for themselves. And that is how we can give the most meaningful contribution to the world. Bringing us into the next key aspect, personal growth. Continuously evolving and growing as individuals as we strive to fulfill our potential and expand our capacity for compassion, empathy, and understanding. Because remember, we are learning to expand ourselves and our essence as we learn to self-realize and self-discover ourselves and self-develop ourselves all simultaneously. as we will always continue to grow and evolve. And that is what makes life the beautiful journey it is. While doing so with compassion and empathy and understanding for ourselves, and learning to forgive ourselves and not be attached to any storyline or any expectation of the self, so that we can live freely and liberated from the bondage of that. So that in doing that for ourselves first, it becomes effortless to do that for others. Because remember, we only see and criticize others as we see and criticize ourselves. So once we start to learn to love ourselves, have compassion for ourselves, understand ourselves, have boundaries for ourselves, it's easier and effortless to have that for others as well. Another key aspect of fulfilling our purpose would be authenticity. Being true to ourselves and living with integrity, authenticity, and honesty, even when faced with challenges and adversities. So throughout the courses of life, and no matter how high and how low life gets, as long as you remain true to yourself and honor who you truly are, with dignity and integrity, remaining authentic to that expression of self, and honest, it doesn't matter what life looks like in the outside, because you maintain that level of truth and authenticity with yourself. You will always, no matter what life looks like outside, you will always be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of the person that you are, because you remain true to yourself, because you chose yourself, because you honored yourself, because you maintain your integrity and authenticity to yourself. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, no matter how much money you have or how much of it you lack, you will be proud of the person you look at in the mirror, while knowing, in doing this, while knowing that you maintain a clean conscience, because of the intention to remain true to yourself. You know that you didn't have to step on someone else's shoes to reach your authentic expression, because the only thing you have to overcome to reach the level of your authentic expression is yourself. Because only you can give yourself your authentic expression. Because there's no one to compare yourself to besides yourself, and who you were yesterday and who you want to be tomorrow. So when your intention is to step into authenticity and pursue your purpose from here, there's no corruption necessary here. Nothing outside of you can corrupt you to yourself. Only you can do that to yourself. Only your ego mind can make you go against yourself. Therefore, if you are experiencing that in your external world, it is a reflection of what's happening within your inner world. And that we get into other levels of the course, but for now, I'm keeping it basic. So not only would you be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of the person you are, because you can maintain that integrity of your authentic expression, because you honor it, because you love it, because you accept it fully and truly, no matter what anything outside of you says. But you'll be able to sleep good at night knowing that you have a clear consciousness, knowing that you didn't have to do anybody dirty to reach that fulfillment of yourself. And therefore you step into your purpose with more devotion and more motivation. Bringing us into the next key aspect of fulfilling our purpose, which is joy and fulfillment. experiencing a sense of joy and fulfillment and purpose in our lives as we align our actions and our deepest aspirations and values. Because you don't know what you don't know, right? And most of us can only measure that which we would lose, fearing that which we don't know. Because if we decide that, okay, I want to step into my authentic expression, I want to continue my personal growth and step into my self-realization so that I can step into that true meaningful contribution into the world as I continue to move forward and align to my full potential, my true destiny, right? To step into that, it's going to take courage. It's going to take self-belief, which is why we have to work our way into it by taking the steps of this course. Because we don't even know, because most of us have yet to experience the level of joy and fulfillment that we will reach once we reach behind that veil, right? After we take the leap, because we don't know what we don't know. We only know the suffering that we are comfortable continuing because it's familiar to us. The toxic people that we're familiar with because it's all we know. But to reach that pivot moment that we have transformed from within, that we have learned to accept and love ourselves, that we have learned to set those boundaries for ourselves, that we have learned to align with our true calling and what truly resonates with ourselves. And in doing so, we learn to contribute in our own unique way, using our own unique talents and allowing ourselves to be in our true authentic expression. That alone should tell you the level of joy and fulfillment that we will reach. Just imagine that. What would life be for you if stepping into that level of fulfillment and joy? Where you reach it by just being yourself. Where you reach it by not needing nothing outside of you. Where you reach it by loving yourself and accepting yourself, your flaws and all. Where you reach it by expanding more of yourself and becoming more of the version that you have yet to discover, because you are allowing yourself to just be that which you are. Where you reach it from a place of being healed and forgiving yourself and those in your past. Where you no longer have the baggage of that pain and suffering and that story that tainted your perception of the world because you were unable to let go. So imagine what life would be like for you to see clear skies and the sun comes out again and shines on the blossoming of all the work that you have done. Where now you get to experience the fruit of the labor, of the cultivation process that you have done, to now reach outside of the soil and step into your truth. Imagine that. Now, what would be ways to discovering our purpose, right? When we step into that purpose, when we step into that truth, after doing all this that we together have done. Self-reflection would be one way to discover our purpose, because we will take time for introspection. We will explore our passions and our values and what brings our deep satisfaction, right? But we have to self-reflect exactly what that is. The same way I said, imagine what your life would be like. We have to self-reflect. What would that be? Take the time to introspect and explore your passions truly through the experience that you have already had, and self-reflect on how you felt in those moments that you experienced those passions and those values that brought you that deep satisfaction into your truth. Another way would be to seek inspiration. Look to those who inspire you, examining their journeys for clues about your own purpose, right? Because just like Jesus had his disciples to follow him because they were inspired by his way of seeing the world. They were inspired by the light that resided within him, the connection that he had to the divine. Because to be that interconnected and know that you are one with the source that is within you, that radiates a different level of knowing. That is a whole different perspective. And here, by just being himself, the story of Jesus Christ, and in the belief of its divine source of self interconnected with the all that is, he found those who would follow him because he inspired them to do so, because he lived the example of what he was preaching by just simply being him. So here you want to seek inspiration by those who are living the life that you envision for yourself. Not the one that looks nice, but the one that truly defines and radiates the resonating energy and essence of that which you truly want to experience. Another way to discover our purpose is to explore diverse experiences. Engage in various activities to discover what resonates with your soul and aligns with your values. Because like I said, you don't know what you don't know until you experience enough to have elements that you have embodied through the experiential wisdom that comes with it. And once we reach a variety of experiences and influences and cultures and foods and so on, we know more of what we want, even when experiencing that which we don't want. So we have to learn how to allow ourselves to step out of the comfort of ourselves and our comfort zones so that we can explore more aspects, more varieties, more options. And here we will know what feels right and what feels off, right? It is in the doing and in the being exposed to more ways where we discover more of who we truly are. Therefore, there is no space or no room for confusion or lack of clarity, because we have had enough experience through the experience of life that has allowed us to solidify the meaning of what is truly who we are. Bringing us into another way of discovering our purpose is to connect with others. Meaningful conversations can provide insight into our strengths and where our heart truly lies. It is not until we experience people's point of views and hear their stories and their cultures and their point of views and theories and religions and so on, that we truly get to see the beauty in humanity. Because here we don't look for everything that's wrong in them, but in fact, we embrace them and we seek to experience them through the eyes of curiosity, to better understand and know of who they are, because we realize that who they are is another version of who we are as well, as we are all one. So to allow ourselves to connect with others through a variety of different walks of life, without judgment and criticism, it's an expression of our humanity towards one another, and introduces the beauty of life and what it should be once more. Concluding this lesson, as you immerse yourself in understanding the alignment of your life's purpose with your spiritual connection, consider various ways to discover your purpose. This exploration is a journey within, guided by self-reflection and a connection to the world around you. Embrace the unfolding discovery of your purpose as it harmonizes with your self-mastery journey, bringing profound fulfillment and a sense of purposeful living.